I'm going to reveal the most important thing you need to know about Bernie Sanders' campaign for president. Enjoy the clip and subscribe for more updates on Bernie Sanders and progressive news and opinion. This is historic. You know, whether Bernie wins or not, this time Bernie is up against, last time it was Bernie versus Hillary. And you know, we need not revisit that. But there were clear differences between the two. This time, Bernie's got some people running as Democrats, well, actually one in particular, Elizabeth Warren, and others who are picking up other pieces of his platform. But, you know, this time around, it's not just going to be, you know, Bernie, you know, it's not going to be one of these binary choices. But that said, what's truly historic about Bernie Sanders and what he has done up to this point, and you know, we'll see how this, you know, if he can pull together 1 million people over the next couple of weeks to say, yes, I'll give an hour to your campaign, or here's $27 or whatever. You know, we'll see how that shakes out. We'll see how much juice he still has. I think it's considerable. I think it's huge. But we'll find out, right? I mean, you know, it's all going to be out there. But, you know, that's like going forward. But the thing that is so astonishing to me, and I alluded to this sort of, you know, in the beginning when I was, you know, when Bernie first called in and I was setting up the interview, and I want to go a little deeper, is that, I mean, just a couple of years ago, you were hearing things like, oh, yes, we're all about hope, we're all about change, we're all about, you know, I'm with her. I mean, so, yeah, some of these slogans, but they didn't have the depth of policy associated with them that Bernie brought into the race a couple of years ago. Quote, normal mainstream Democrats were unwilling to endorse, for example, Medicare for All. In fact, I remember Bernie was on this show for, you know, as you'll recall, every single Friday for 11 years. And over and over and over again, Bernie would be supporting John Conyers' bill, HR 676, or he started talking about Medicare for All. When he joined the Senate, and this was, I think, 5 years ago, thereabouts, and he was on this show when this happened, he introduced a piece of legislation that was a Medicare for All bill, right? Just the whole enchilada, right? Here it is, Medicare for All. You know how many Democrats co-sponsored that legislation in the United States Senate with him? 0. It was Bernie all alone. It never got to committee. It never got a vote. Nothing. Because no other Democrats were willing to say, Medicare for all, that makes sense. Works in Canada. It'll save us $10 trillion over the course of the next decade. No Democrat was willing to say that. Bernie was talking about how every American should be able to go to college or trade school for free. Because we know, you know, this isn't an expense, it's an investment. We know that from you know, our experience with the GI Bill. That for every dollar we invest in educating young people at the college level or trade school level, we make back over the course of their lifetimes $7 additional we wouldn't have had, we being the federal government, in increased tax revenue because they're earning more, because they're educated now. This is a no-brainer. And yet 4 or 5 years ago when Bernie was talking about everybody in America having the right to have a free college education and how it wouldn't be an expense, I mean, it would be an investment that will pay a larger return than the cost of the investment. Same with health care, by the way. You got a healthier country, you got more productive workers, you have lower mortality costs, you have lower health care costs, you have a more productive workforce. I mean, there's a reason why of the 34 OECD countries, 33 of them have national health care systems. There's a reason why of the 34 OECD countries, 31 of them have free college education. These are simple. I mean, this is just like not even rocket science. This is just common friggin' sense. And yet 5 years ago, there wasn't a single Democrat who would say, yes, I'm in favor of these things. And that has all changed now because of Bernie's historic candidacy. Breaking up the big banks. Nobody was willing to talk about that out loud. Free tuition in public colleges. Lowering drug prices. Yeah, that would get some lip service, but then people would say, but we can't have too much government regulation. Come on. New labor laws to encourage union formation. This is a list from Jeff Stein in today's Washington Post, by the way, of the things that Bernie is running on and has run on. These are all things that are now parts of the normal conversation in the Democratic Party. Curbing corporate spending on elections, rolling back Citizens United or overturning it, paid family and medical leave, gender pay equality, increasing Social Security benefits, raising the cap and making Social Security solid. And a few of the new things that he didn't run on last time that he's running on this time: ending cash bail throughout the United States, legalizing marijuana throughout the United States, heavy taxation of wealthy estates, corporations, and the richest 1%, and closing offshore tax havens.